Okay, today we're going to go over how to do an upgrade on our packs here at CCFR. You want to have this reference sheet with you. They're not very good instructions, but they have pictures and go over the process. And I will go over it in this short little video. We're going to start with removing this anti-rotation clamp.
Okay.
Once you get the 4 screws out, that pops off. This lower portion can be difficult to get off, so you can tap it with the hammer to pop it loose. And then you want to remove the heads-up display cord, and we've got this 3/8 wrench. I put some tape on it to make it easily identifiable, and you want to loosen this nut. This is the part that fails a lot, and so you want to be gentle with this part. Next, we're going to remove just this top mounting screw. So the screw comes loose, and there's this little plastic washer. You want to set those aside. You'll use those to remount it. Then you flip the pack over, and we've got these 2 screws. 2 screws are loose. This pops out. There, you want to remove this little C retaining clip, and then that allows this heads-up cable to pop out of there. This heads-up module and this little thing, sometimes it stays in the pressure reducer, sometimes it stays with the... Now we're going to put the pressure reducer mounting screw back on. Put a small dot of Loctite 242, the blue stuff, on the mounting screw. The black washer has this little dimple that sticks out on top. That portion of it goes against the pressure reducer. And next we need to remove the pass device. In order to get the pass device off, we have to remove the back of the gauge console and remove the wire from inside there. To do that, we're going to need to cut a zip tie that is in there, and then Okay, we're going to have to remove this cable. To start with, you pop off this retaining pin, and then this plug. First, you have to cut the zip tie, because these wires are generally held together with a zip tie, so carefully cut the zip tie without cutting the wires. Then this plug gets popped off, and then we have to remove this cable from the gauge housing. It can be pretty difficult to do that. I'll use a screwdriver and stick it in and pry it out. And then it pops out. You want to try to not jerk it out, or you'll pop this pin off. We won't be reusing this wire, but somebody in some other department might. Then to finish removing, you got to turn the plug sideways and feed it out of the hole. And then this can all be taken off of the air pack and placed in the cardboard box. Okay. Next, we're going to install the HUD module, and we're going to need the module itself, the little nipple, the O-ring, the retaining clip, this very large screw, and these 2 little mounting screws. We're going to want to put a tiny dab of Parker Super Lube on the O-rings, which I've already done. The nipple sits right into there, and we're then going to find the end of this silver cable with the numbers on it, with the serial number, and it gets mounted right into that hole, and then this retaining clip drops in and holds that in place. This will then come over to the pressure reducer, to the back side of the pressure reducer. It gets pushed into place, and the mounting screws drop in, and again, using the smaller Allen wrench, those get tightened. And then when we're done tightening those up, you might do... So I've probably messed you up here. I forgot to put 242 on both this mounting screw plug and also the mounting screws that are in this gauge block. So if you've already done that, sorry, you're going to have to take it apart and put that 2/4. Next, we're going to do this anti-rotation clip. The square portion slips right underneath the low pressure hose. The round portion goes on top and it gets threaded in here, and they want this clip to be flush with the top. We're then going to take a little of this RVR silicone and put a very small amount right on the outside edge of this heads up wire. You'll see that it's got 3 holes. It's going to go into the plug that's mounted on the pack frame here, and you need to make sure that the 3 holes line up with the 3 plugs. That will get threaded. The instructions say to hand tighten this until it's snug, and then do a 1/4 turn more. You can't get your fingers in there to hand tighten it, so I've just tightened it with the wrench until it just snugs up. If you over tighten it, it deforms the rubber of the wire. And next, we're going to install the gauge assembly. We're going to need the gauge assembly, the shorter C retaining clip, and the very small little screw. They're all in with this package. So we'll take this up to the shoulder strap. The silver thing gets pushed in there. You take the little retaining clip on this back side. It gets fed into the holes. The first one I had was super easy. The last one I had to force with a screwdriver for some reason. This small screw is a retaining screw to keep that C-clamp from sliding out of there. And then we're going to put this data cable in. It's got a little notch in it that goes into the notch in there. It's a 2-part screw. It starts with threading the silver portion in, and you just go hand tight, and then this big black portion gets snugged up. And then we're going to attach the rubber retaining strap. The easiest way to do that is to pull quite a bit of strap out from below the Scott reflective thing. Bring the rubber strap under the shoulder strap and then attach it. Next, we're going to put these clips on. We're going to end up not using this retaining clip because the packs already have them. But we'll take these clips a little ways up so it'll be tucked inside the shoulder here. Start with the black side. Clip that into place. Then take the silver hose, clip that. And then we'll take the other one, and it goes up here towards the top of the pack. Again, start with the black side.
Mention the big one.
And then this is a larger holes. The larger side is for the metal one. While we're working up here, we'll also go ahead and put the drag strap in. To install the drag strap, got to take the shoulder straps off the top here. So it's turned sideways and fed out of the hole. You then take this retaining strap or drag strap, just put it right over there and reinstall the shoulder straps. So next we're going to drill the mounting holes for the new pass device. These are the templates that come with it. You can see right and the left. That's the wearer's right side of the pack. This will start with this one. It slides right under here and you can hold on to it. When you're drilling this, you want to make sure you're not going to poke through the other side and damage the waste. And then for the bottom portion of the pack, it sits in there, and again these get drilled out. So the holes out here on the back side of the pack, I've found that they don't line up just right, and so they need to be elongated just slightly up and down. So for this portion mounting the pass device, we're going to need the 2 mounting clips and the 4 screws that hold it in place. The mounting device goes in this direction with the big portion on the wearer's right hand side. These two clips, you'll notice that one of them has a notch out. That's for a light that's on this back side, so it's going to be on this side, where this more solid one is going to be on this right side. We're going to start on this right side, put that in place, slide it over, and then we can do the same thing. Put this over. And you just want to get these started. You don't want to snug them up all the way to make it easier to get the backside screws started. Okay, next we're going to swap regulators. We've got the old regulator, new regulator. You need to start by tapping getting the purge valve off, and you grab the smallest tool there, pop the pin out, and I try not to take the pin all the way out, leave it in just a little bit so you don't lose it. And then you grab the blue handled spreaders, and this clip, sorry it's already removed, but this clip is normally right here. You want to remove that off. Then you pull the two screws on the clip switch, which releases the heads-up display. And then there's the Allen wrench screw that you'll take off. We're going to have to reuse this screw so don't lose it. You're then able to remove the cable. The old regulator will go to the cardboard box. Grab the new regulator. This low pressure hose goes on, and then we've got to remove this one. We'll pull this off. There's two flush mounted screws. You're going to pull off the one closest to the air saver switch. Why don't you stop it there. Okay, so we've removed that flush mounted screw. We slide this on with the little stop. It's going to be in the down position. We're going to put the heads-up display on, with the heads-up display up on the top side of the regulator, up near the air saver switch. And then we're going to put the Allen screw back in. This acts as a stop, so anti-rotation stop, so the low pressure hose doesn't spin around and rip out the cord for the heads-up display. The new regulator has an aluminum block. It's already been removed on this one, so you remove the aluminum block and throw it away. Okay, you can stop there.
You're filming.
Okay, so now we're going to install the clip back in with the little spring. The black portion, the heads-up display bracket, goes on top of the silver holders there, and the two screws go back on. You want to make sure that it all continues to work. Your valve, your block is there on the purge valve. We need to remember to put this retaining clip back on. It's got a rounded side and a flat side. The flat side goes down against the aluminum block. We then take a guesstimate of where the purge valve belongs, and we put it on. And you do not want to set that pin until you do the testing process. There are several new stickers that need to be put on. We've put this new red one on just sideways like that. Black one here, silver one here. Sometimes you might need to put them lower. And then a new big black sticker on the back side of the pack. Lastly, you want to put the batteries in here. You can do that right now or after you've tested the pack. And then we also need to relabel the regulator because it is not labeled at all. So the new method, instead of the old method, we put CCFR and the pack date and number on the cover. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to write it right on this plug, and so we're going to write CCFR and then the pack number. The pack number can be found right here is 076-04. It was purchased at trying to make it more legible than I just did, but again, it's CCFR 076. After the pack is tested on the PosiCheck software, it's at the very end before you save the data. This, you need to erase the old regulator serial number and put in this number that starts with 115S, and that needs to get put in so